There's something I should also bring up about Snowpiercer. So Snowpiercer came out in 2013, and it was distributed through the Weinstein Company.
Okay.
And Bong Joon-Ho apparently had a lot of beef with Harvey Weinstein over it.
Pre-everything.
This was pre-everything. So Bong Joon-Ho is he's a close friend of Quentin Tarantino.
Okay.
And Quentin Tarantino had kind of always... Quentin Tarantino puts out a lot of lists of foreign films of if you like my movies, these are things you should watch, and would always put Bong Joon-Ho's movies on there. And so when Snowpiercer came out, which Snowpiercer was kind of Bong Joon-Ho's first big American release, it was gone through the Weinstein Company because that's what Quentin Tarantino pretty much does all of his movies through. And Harvey Weinstein wanted to change the ending of Snowpiercer. He wanted Bong Joon-Ho to completely...
He wanted some young actress to come in at the end and blow the guy.
I don't know if I'll go there. No. Well, all right, hold on. If you fuck Harvey Weinstein. Hold on.
Obviously. Does that need to be said?
If you watch the ending of Snowpiercer, the ending is very dark.
Yeah.
There's a very bleak ending to it, and I'm assuming they wanted a happier ending to more appeal to American audiences. And Bong Joon-Ho is coming from Korean cinema, where it's you don't ask a director to change the ending of their movie. That's a huge insult.
Sure.
And
that's how it
should be in America, but in America that's pretty standard. That a producer would say, "Hey, you
can you put you
need
Target
to change things."
Product placement.
Yeah, and they had a huge beef about it for a while, and basically Snowpiercer was supposed to be this huge release in America, and they cut down on the amount of screens that it was going to be on.
So they kept the ending.
They kept the original ending, but they didn't distribute. They didn't distribute it as much as they were going to.
Yeah.
Which it is that's how Weinstein was. That's how he did his business. He was
just a piece of shit.
He was a piece of shit in every aspect of him. A lot of people say he ruined the Oscars, him specifically.
What do you mean by that?
So
just in generally speaking, the Oscars?
The idea of the Oscars the idea of giving gifts out to the voters, to the people who vote on what movies get, it's something that he kind of started.
Yeah, what, bribes?
Basically.
Yeah.
But it was not as commonplace until he really started.
So people do that?
Yeah, they'll give gifts to, or they'll give
what a sack of shit. The
Oscars is a sack of shit.
Fuck that, dude. Really?
Yes. Yeah.
How is that allowed?
It's not there's nothing legal
about the Oscars.
Yeah, there's no.
It's just some blow.
You can just do whatever the fuck you
convention.
Want. I mean, yeah.
That's when they gave Casey Affleck the Oscar. I actually liked that movie.
Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah, but it was just you get a sense that people just get rewarded for time served almost.
Yes.
Which I don't think that's really the
idea. The Oscars are a load of bullshit anyway. Yeah. I like that Parasite won. I like that something so far out of the kind of Hollywood machine.
But let me ask you this. The cynic in me, right? The same mind that I'm going, why are these big businesses getting behind a movie like Parasite when it's oh man, eat the rich or whatever. It's not really that hardcore, but it's but meanwhile you are these big corporations.
Yeah.
So did they give Parasite the film because they knew what happened with Harvey Weinstein with him? You get where I'm going?
I get where you're going. Maybe. I think that...
If we're going off the premise that it's not merit-based and it's bullshit anyway...
I 100% believe that the reason Bong Joon-Ho is now such a well-known name with filmmakers is because you don't have Weinstein around to kind of... to keep him down anymore.
Yeah. I mean, so the idea of So blacklisting was super real in the industry like not that long ago. Or maybe it still is.
It still is. If a major producer, when Harvey Weinstein, just a couple of years ago, if he didn't like you, you weren't getting anything made.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, because of just the vast connections of
100%.
I
mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that he got taken down and now Bong Joon-Ho is suddenly
right. That's what I'm saying.
Back in the name, this guy that they notoriously hated each other.
And not only that, maybe it went the other way where it's just let's
maybe
celebrate this guy.
Maybe they were like, let's give this guy the Oscar now because they won a lot.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Don't get me wrong.
Best picture, best foreign film, it's called best international film now.
I just took a swing at that.
It used to be best foreign language film, and now it's best international film. And then best screenplay, and then Bong Joon-Ho won best director.
Damn, they swept like a motherfucker.
Yeah. They deserved it. I actually did not think that this movie was going to win Best Picture. I thought for sure 1917 was going to win.
That one screenplay? That one's something big, right?
I want to say cinematography.
That one's something big.
I'm not exactly sure. I didn't really like it, but there was
one shot or something.
It was all one shot.
How is that possible?
They just do very long segments, and they just do very
So it's one take?
It's not one take. Okay, no, it's about 20-minute takes, and then it's kind of cut together in a way that looks seamless, so that the entire movie looks.
We start here and we go 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here.
It's not always 20. I know. Sometimes it could be
that's
5
the idea.
minutes.
Like you have a camera scanning something.
No, it would be different sets, but it would be cut together so it seems seamless.
It's not really one shot.
No, it's not really one shot, but it looks, if you're watching it, like it's going to be one shot. I hate that. Birdman did it, and Birdman was all right with it.
Birdman was kind of set up like it was a stage play.
Yes.
So that makes a little bit more sense.
It does make more sense. I also
shout out to Ed Norton.
Yes. Shout out to Ed Norton.
He's in the film Keeping the Faith, which was filmed in our family bar. Which I remember the shooting of that. I was hiding in the basement while they were filming the bar scene.
Yes, I remember.
Do you remember? You were really young.
That was my first time ever on a movie set.
Yeah, that's true. And
I was hiding in the basement of our family bar while they were filming Keeping the Faith.
I still remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
That was in 1999. And then Greg would go on later to work with Ed Norton on a movie.
Yes,
on Motherless Brooklyn. So cool. Full circle.
So the way Birdman kind of did the one shot was, I thought it was very interesting. I thought their transitions were way more creative. 1917, it seemed like it was just a gimmick. I don't think. Did you see 1917 or no?
No. I'm just agreeing because I could see how it could be.
The story isn't great. It's kind of
Is it World War One?
It's World War One, and he has to run across
boring story. That World War One. No, I'm just kidding.
He has to run across enemy territory to get to some general or some shit.
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. But I didn't think the story was great, but there was such hype around it, and all the major review places or whatever were all saying this was going to win, and then Parasite was one. And I had seen Parasite before the Oscars. I loved Parasite, but I did not think it was going to win just because it's in Korean, because a lot of the people who vote on the Oscars are much older, who like more classic movies.
Break this down.
Yes.
How does the voting for the Oscars work?
All right, so I don't know it to a science.
It's literally some old guys that Harvey Weinstein's like, hey, no, Carl, I got you this fucking car.
It's basically everybody who's a part of the Academy of Motion Pictures and Sciences gets a vote. That's kind of...
How many people is that?
It's a lot. It's a pretty big group of people.
Like we're talking thousands, hundreds?
Hundreds probably.
Okay.
Yeah. And everyone gets a vote on Best Picture, and then each category, whatever your like job is in that field, you get to vote on. So like sound engineers are the only ones who vote on sound design. Actors are the only ones who vote on actors and actresses. Directors are the only ones who vote on directors. But Best Picture, a lot, like it's everybody. But it normally skews older.
Yeah.
So the more classic movies kind of win. A lot of movies that don't really like push the boundaries, that kind of talk what's going on in modern day, but doesn't really push the boundaries. Like Green Book had one in 2018, and Green Book was like, it was about racism, but it did it in a very safe way.
Right.
So you could see why they're going to vote for that, because it's like, you know, no one's going to disagree that racism is wrong, but also they're going to vote for a movie that doesn't get real deep into it, that doesn't make them feel guilty about anything they did.
Sure.
Know?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to win because it was Korean, because it's outside.
Well, and you should point out that's never happened before. Like an English speaking,
it's
a non-English speaking movie has never.
I don't know.
I thought a subtitled movie had never won before.
That might be right. Yeah. It's definitely not the first to get nominated.